Hi everyone, Dota Kitty here. Now, as you can see from my latest live streams, I'm kind of running out of ideas on what to do with FlightGear. And I have a few more video ideas for other open source games, including Mindtest and Valorant, and if you want to see them, kindly please tell me in the comments and I will gladly make them. However, for today, in accordance with the flight simulation theme, I'm going to do something else instead, which is GeoFS, a flight simulator that runs in your browser and is pretty much like Google Earth, which means that you have a terrain mesh and photo scenery all over the world. However, you don't get the benefits of buildings, trees, as long as they haven't been placed in the world model, and other such and such things. Also, the controls work a little bit differently from in FlightGear. But it's still a perfectly working flight simulator. The cockpit model here isn't the best, but that's what you got for free. And right now, I'm landing at Phuket Airport again. It's pretty much my simulator home airport now. What do you expect? Okay. The controls are actually pretty similar to how I usually play FlightGear, which is the mouse controls the yoke. Left is left, right is right, up is you pull the mouse down to pull up, and you push the mouse up to get down. And but the other controls work a little bit differently. Plus and minus is your throttle now, and the number keys work a lot differently. They are basically a preset throttle preset bar now. Also, the flaps are a different way around compared to FlightGear as well. They're still on the bracket keys, but the left one, the opening bracket, means flaps means up a flaps level, means flaps down, and the closing bracket keys means flaps up. So I'll have to get used to that as well. Also, the mouse, and you can left click to go into mouse view mode, or right click to get it into, you know, mouse camera position movement mode, which is something I'm not used to, but you know, that's how it works. It looks like the runway is actually really well positioned relative to the actual imagery here. And flare, have a bit more speed and altitude than I really need. I'll have to go slowly. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, and brake is space. Oops. Oops. Come on, go back out. Go back in. Yeah, my FlightGear controls are overriding, sorry. Also, the takeoff actually works pretty different as well, because you basically have the nose rudder actually tied to your, oh my god, actually tied to the yoke as well, which means that when the Cessna does this upon takeoff, you kind of have no way to correct, unlike in FlightGear. Also, this thing seems a bit delayed compared to in FlightGear, but I have no idea how. People are complaining that FlightGear Cessna is a bit unrealistic because it climbs way too well at 70 knots. In fact, GeoFS 172p does something really similar, and in fact, it was speeding up even though I was climbing at like 10 feet per minute. 1,000 feet per minute, I guess. So I think that the real plane probably could have done this too, or is that maybe that's for the plane that they took to make the model, and that's the coming into view. That's the place which I used to be a landmark in case I'm ever doing circuits again here. And those buildings over here are fairly low resolution. GeoFS is now paywalling the higher resolution imagery for paying users. And now that everything's not tied to my mouse anymore, I can be free to do something else, like pick a camera view. Yeah, I don't know if there's a key to do that. You can also teleport to other locations just with this, and you can basically change your aircraft real time. For example, I think someone actually wanted me to fly some weird sign of Airbus, but this is the only plane in that case where I think we have something in it to like. So So there's actually an autopilot in this thing, but I don't think there's no way to. I don't think there's a way to. Oh. Come on, just increase. Oh. Let's actually make this climb up somewhere. So maybe 2,000, and click here to make it end. Take off. What is it? Take off on flyby. Land. Oh, these are teleport buttons. Oh, so you can like decrease this continuously, and the thing will like go on to dangerous bank angles. How far does this go? For those who are unaware, what I'm doing right now is trying to climb to 20,000 feet and probably higher depending on how far we can go, as fast as possible. And I can't actually look at the displays that the pilot would use to monitor this because they are frozen, because they aren't implemented. So I have to look at the throttle lever just like I did in the Citation 10 days in order to find out if the plane is at the limits. And because it's not, I'm going to pull it up even further. Right, you know what I just noticed? This display render is in the wrong place, and right now it's actually, and if you move the view, it's actually tilted relative to the actual screen it's supposed to render onto. So, whoops. I hope that's a bug on my computer and not something that was like wrong on their side. Look at the bank angle they used to turn. Oh my god. That actually came really close to a stall there. What this is telling me is that we're about to reach flight level 200, which is my current goal for the plane. So I'm going to make it go up to flight level 300, and in fact, let's let it go straight up to FL 380, which is the biggest number I have ever seen in flights. And if it goes above that, cool. I think I roughly remember FL 410 as being the coffin corner for one particular plane, but I'm not sure where this one's coffin corner is going to be, so cool. Let's find out together. By the way, when I say coffin corner, it was a term to call the place where the plane just cannot climb anymore, because if it climbs anymore, it will run into issues with speed, where going just a few knots too slow or too fast would cause you to like lose control and die. So that's where that name comes from. Okay, quick update. We are at flight level 550. We're still climbing at 1,000 feet per minute, but our speed has dropped down right to 325 knots, and we are, according to the stall meter, currently stalling. The speeds actually are looking pretty normal right now, but I think we're getting close to the point where we will have to stop the climb. Now, I just looked in the options menu and there is no time acceleration in GeoFS, which means that I will have to wait this out, the whole thing. Oh, and look at that! We are at 0 feet per minute. And the speed is staying steady, which means that we're pretty much at the limit, people. Woohoo! We made it up to the ceiling of this thing. So now it's time for the second half of our activity, where I turn off the autopilot and start diving down to this cloud. Let's do that. Mouse control is active. We're rotating there. Throttle is still on max, but that will change really soon. And let's get going. Right, throttle is now going to be at 1 just to make sure that our speed doesn't increase throughout this maneuver. And I'm going to tune throttle as necessary to make sure I don't get too fast. Or screw it, I'm going to do 9 anyway and see what happens if we go too fast. We're going to punch through that sheet right there. Just had a look at this, just pull it down a little bit more. We have now hit the pin. Yeah, so let's go down to throttle 1 and don't try not to break the freaking airframe. So we're just going to go through the first plane, just like a sheet of glass. Go through the second plane, just like an image plane set in this space. And then we're going to level off a bit and go through that cumulus cloud. Easy, 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 easy. You're probably over the designated speed limit of your airframe, but easy, easy. Speed is dropping as we are falling. Easy. Easy, easy, clip. That looks perfectly like FlightGear. Now it's time to like throttle to 4, and let's go back to shore. Right, so I'm just going to land at some random beach alongside here because I can't be bothered to do this properly. So now that we're back to civilized land, let's set up for a approximately 150 knot, probably faster than that approach down. This is probably too fast. If it is too fast, I can just like turn around or something. There are a lot of fields we can land on, especially now that we don't care about landing on buildings. Because there are no buildings in this model. It's 2, and we have to clear that mountain. Right, we're back, more flaps. And pass the phone beat, so gear. Now gradually brake. Are we like touching the ground already? Bam. Brakes, throttle to idle. What the heck is going on with the rudder control? It's like going to the left ever so suddenly. Right, so you're probably safe on the ground. Probably run through a couple of houses if this is real life, but this in GeoFS, this is just a plane, so we don't care. Thanks for watching me play GeoFS. This is a very long video, and if you're sticking to the end, I really thank you. I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Have a nice flight.